9:27. Good morning. A little ahead of schedule, so I thought we'd go ahead and get to our Ask the Lawyer segment ahead of schedule. Actually, quite a detailed question today, so that may prove helpful. So would you please help me in welcoming Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Good morning, Bruce.
Hey, good morning, Todd. How are you doing this beautiful morning?
Just fine. How are you? How's everybody in the Scheiner household?
Everybody's fine, and today's weather is what we live for all year in Florida.
Yeah, just ahead of a little rain and then a slight change up, but nice this morning. You got that right. I wish I had a nice story to share with you, but rather there's something kind of tragic that ended up in the email box. And I'm glad that we have you to kind of answer these questions sometimes because you have such a compassionate side to you, and I know you will in this case. It's also a very detailed question. Every time I suggest somebody submit their question to our website, I always say, give as much or as little detail as you care to. Boy, they gave us a lot to work with here. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Todd.
All right, let's dig into it. Today's email says, my husband and I are heartbroken. Our daughter had gotten called into work unexpectedly, so she hired a girl in her neighborhood to babysit her 3-year-old son. The babysitter took her son to a neighbor's house. This neighbor has a pool, and at some point, the babysitter and her friend were playing video games, and our grandson wandered away through an open sliding door and fell into the pool because there was no pool fence. They didn't discover he was gone for several minutes. When they found our grandson, he was unconscious in the pool. The mother of the babysitter's friend called 911 and performed CPR. Our grandson was rushed to the hospital, and the doctors indicated he has suffered some brain damage and will need extensive medical care. My daughter doesn't have medical insurance, and we are on a fixed income. Can a lawyer do anything? Again, every parent's nightmare. And Bruce, what do you make of this situation?
Well, to answer the question generally, of course, an experienced personal injury lawyer would be able to help.
Okay.
And it's very important to get one on board as soon as possible after a tragedy like this.
Okay.
Now, to start with, last year, 2020, there was 100% increase in baby drownings.
Oh, no.
And we think it was because so many more people stayed home because of COVID.
Right.
But
That's awful.
as a horrible statistic, drowning is the cause of death, or for the major cause of death for children 1 to 4 years old.
That's so awful.
So, as a general solution, parents with young children should have bring them to swimming lessons as early as they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Now, specifically in this case, the babysitter and the premises that the babysitter brought the child to,
The neighbor's house,
both of them would be negligent for allowing the, toddler to be able to get out the door and into the swimming pool.
Right.
And fortunately, homeowners cover situations like this.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully the babysitter's family and the homeowner of the place where the actual drowning occurred would have homeowners and would be responsible.
Okay.
There's one slight catch. Homeowners has an exclusion for work-related activities.
Oh.
And it's right on the borderline if that 13-year-old would be considered, working at the time, even though she was babysitting.
I see.
But definitely the household where the drowning occurred, their homeowners would be responsible, and probably the homeowner for the babysitter would be responsible. So there is a there is a source of recovery.
And with it being something, like you said, it sort of walks that fine line between a work and non-work accident. The insurance company is going to push back hard on that. You really do need a professional for this.
Absolutely. This is a case where you definitely need an experienced personal injury lawyer.
Not to mention, it sounds like the little boy may need lifelong care. And so that's something that's going to be a substantial enough claim. You really need somebody who's got experience in figuring out what those needs will be.
Yes. There's all kind of experts that they will need to prove the amount of compensation they're going to need.
Mm-hmm.
They need life care planners and economists and
I got you.
Specialists and doctors. And
right.
It's very,
very complicated
situation.
Absolutely. Well, Bruce, at least you've provided a source of hope here that there is a recovery possible, and that's good. And second of all, the advice to get a hold of a professional quickly is worth its weight in gold. And as always, I thank you for your compassion in these tragic situations that we hear far too frequently. Like you said, number one thing to do if you have a toddler, have a baby, as soon as possible, get them swimming lessons. They teach them as young as you can imagine, and they are very successful with teaching them. So get that done.
That's a great idea, Todd.
All right, Bruce.
Thank you for presenting me with this challenging question.
And thank you for your response, as always. I know you're a busy guy, so I'll just let you go and say we look forward to talking to you next week.
Okay, Todd. Thank you.
Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. And we do appreciate, as always, his attention to your questions. If you'd like to submit a question, as I said before, give as much or a little detail as you'd like. On our website, simply go to kickscountry929.com and then look for the search box, type in the keyword Bruce. Or if you need more immediate help, and in a situation like this, you might need some immediate help, call the Port Charlotte office of Bruce L. Scheiner and Associates, 941-743-7777. 941-743-7777. And tell them that Todd sent you from Kicks Country 92.9.